Hi, I'm Matt Verjanik from Inlaybanding.com, and I'm going to do a review on the new Bosch PR011 router base, which is made for the Bosch Colt trim router. This is just my opinion and how I will use the router to do inlays. And this is a nice addition to the Bosch Colt. I've been using the Bosch Colt for a number of years, and it's a great little router, and it's nice and light. It's really perfect for doing inlays. One of the first things you notice with the new plunge base is this alignment pin inside that aligns the router motor, and it's very positive. So you just put the router motor in, rotate it, drop it in all the way, it locks, and there's a lock on the back that locks the motor in the base very tightly. Okay, move that out of the way. This is also going to be available as a package with the router base and the router motor in November of 2012. The plunge base by itself is supposed to be available mid-October of 2012. I received the base from Bosch. They were good enough to send me one to test, and I've got no instructions with it, but you don't really need any. It's a simple thing to use. It's very positive, it's nice, it's light. What I've seen so far, I like it. One of the first things you notice also is this locking lever that very positive, and it locks tightly, surprisingly. You would think that maybe it wouldn't be too tight, but I haven't been able to move it once it's locked. But the plunge action is pretty smooth, and just seems to be nice, feels good. I like it. Anyway, to zero the router, the first thing you would do is to set it so that your router bit would be zeroed out or zeroed at the bottom. And then you can take this lever, push it down onto the turret, set this moves up and down, this scale thing. So you set your scale to 0, which is in inches and millimeters, then lock it down, and you're set to the depth of 0 at this point. Now, the way I use it to set for inlays is it's locked at 0 depth right now. I would turn this knob, loosen this, and then I would raise the lever, take an inlay or a banding, put it between the pin and the turret, and then lock it in. Now the depth of my router bit is exactly the depth of this banding. What I want to do is to lower this lever just a hair, maybe a few thousandths of an inch lower, so that the depth is set slightly less than the thickness of this banding, so that when I inlay this banding, it stands a little bit proud, so that I could sand it or scrape it flush with the surface, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. So now I have the depth. Let me just turn this timer off. Something else going on. So now I have the depth set to just slightly less than the thickness of this banding. Okay? So now what I'll do, and you would probably want to recalibrate this. I'm just setting a fence. This is my fence that the router base is going to slide on. so that my line that I route will be straight. Another nice thing I like about it is the round subbase. It's got a round subbase so that you can route in any attitude going across here, and the distance between the edge of this and the router bit is going to stay constant. That's very important. So now I have this thing locked down. Now what I'll do is unlock my plunge lever here, plunge the thing down to where it's on the turret. Now my router bit, you probably can't see it on the camera, protrudes slightly below the base. Okay, let me get my ear protection on. And we're going to try to route this groove. Okay, let's see how we did. Actually, the banding is slightly wider than my router bit, which is not a problem. So I need to route that groove a little bit wider. I'm going to put a little bit of masking tape, I think 2 onto my fence so that my groove will get a little wider. Perfect. Now the banding is, you can't see it on there, but it's sticking up slightly higher than the groove that I routed. So now when I glue this banding in there, I'll be able to sand it flush with the surface. And that's how I use it with the Inlay. And I like it. That's it.